In this video we're onto the front suspension and steering of the Oltcit to try and work out why it's so stiff, because even with it jacked up off the ground it is really very stiff. So we're going to try and find out what's going on, hoping it isn't the rack. Could be a sticky ball joint. We've also got play for definite on this side. I don't think we've fully identified where that play is yet, but somewhere in this there is definitely play, and this wheel's got quite the wobble on it, so that's something to look into. Yeah, suspension's quite interesting. It's a torsion bar arrangement, so you can see the torsion bar going off down there, but then double wishbone as well. And I had a feeling there was some sort of transverse link on this as well, but I can't quite see that at the moment, unless it's all part of this gubbins underneath here. Yeah, there is definitely something going on across there, or is that just a reinforcement for the rear mount of the torsion bar? But yeah, we haven't had a chance to really see how good this suspension is yet. The rear suspension, I think, uses sort of horizontal coil springs on a trailing rear arm, and I think it kind of predates the Peugeot 205 and the Peugeot 305 estate. Just having a peek at the UJ here. Seems to have a fair amount of grease on it, but it's notable that the steering is stiff the minute you try and turn it, so before you've even really loaded anything up further down the system. So we might try, looks like the pinch bolt there, might try releasing that and see if the steering's then turning. Yes, I mean, look, someone's obviously been in here greasing before, hoping it was this universal joint. But it could be the upper bush here, especially with heat. They degrade and swell, and if someone's put oil on it, and again we've got oily marks here, just to suggest someone has, that's not what you want on that seal. Or is it a bush? It might actually be a metal bush in there. Either way, I think something's binding up here. I think this is where our problem is. Well, things have escalated a bit, and it's like a GSA. Getting the heater box, or at least part of it, out of the way has certainly helped. So now we've got down to the bottom U-joint, and we released that pinch so we can knock this down to give us space to knock this universal joint down. So the column is now free. So the question is, where is the stiffness? And I can tell you, it's here. It's this top bush or bearing, whatever it is in there, is absolutely C-solid. Whereas under here now, I can operate the suspension quite easily. I've probably pushed everything out of alignment now, of course, just for extra fun and games, but at least we found a problem. So the problem doesn't seem to be this end. We may have play in a ball joint, but we still need to sort out. The dust cover is broken on this one, so that's going to be an MOT failure. So we're definitely going to have to do some work here, but at least it isn't the rack, which was one of our concerns. So the problem is up here somewhere. So whether we can revive that, I don't know, but yeah, we'll see what we can do. Unfortunately, to get better access to this, you've got to take like the entire dashboard out, which isn't great, but presumably the steering wheel must... Ooh, I'll move my seat back and forward quite easily. Yeah, presumably we must be able to get that out. Maybe we have to tap it off, because you don't attach the steering wheel here. There is no fixing. It's all the way down to here. There we go. We've got the steering column out, and this is the problem. Look, it's been oiled, but it's a rubber bush, so I think that's just made the bush swell, so it's just gripping it tighter, and so I've just kept packing in more and more grease. But yeah, that's not what you want in there, so I think we should start by just trying to clear it out. We do have a spare ignition barrel, of course, but it would be preferable to salvage what we can. So we'll give it a darn good cleaning and see if we can get some silicone lubricant or something in there that isn't going to make the rubber swell. The Oltcit is back indoors. Today's tinkering session is at an end, but we've got an interior that's now utter chaos and a steering column, but I think we're just going to have to swap out. So it's a good job there is a spares car sitting up here, but we've run out of tinkering time today. I have to come up here and get the ignition barrel off this one. Steering is nice and free, so this hasn't suffered the same way. So yeah, thank goodness for spares cars. Found some other bits in the back as well, including an entire dash binnacle, which is good because the dash binnacle fitted is starting to break up. You can see this bit in the middle is entirely snapped off. It's all made out of some nasty sort of monkey metal. It's not plastic, but we have a replacement to go in, so we can swap that out. Shouldn't be an issue, and use the original clocks, just a better binnacle. And also the tailgate struts work very nicely on the spares car, so that's good news indeed. So I'm afraid that's it for this one. We haven't fixed it, but we do know what the problem is, and now we can get on with fixing it, and we'll be another step closer to getting the Oltcit back on the road. Exciting times. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget you can head to the store and buy all sorts of lovely merchandise, including t-shirts that relate to a certain magical blue Invacar. We got some Foxan gubbins as well, and we don't have anything on Oltcits yet, but maybe one day, or GSAs for that matter. Need to broaden the range somewhat. There will be a new design coming, which I'm looking forward to sharing with you very soon. I can say no more for now, other than see you in a future video. Farewell.